Okay, hopefully the stream will stabilize. We're gonna get started. Oh, had a pretty rough morning. It's always hard to get up after sleeping when you have back issues. Uh, yeah, I could barely get out of bed. I freaking laid there for like 3 minutes, doing some gentle movement, laying in bed. I had to to get out of bed. I had to freaking climb up on myself to even stand up. But I did these exercises, which I'm about to demonstrate now, and that freaking got me moving around, got me mobile enough to be a functional. Alright, I'm switching to data. Shiki, yeah, my Wi-Fi was fucking up. Okay, hopefully it's not too fucked up right now. Let me know in the chat. But yeah, man, I was just saying, tough getting out of bed this morning. Uh, but pretty much went from feeling like a cripple to being functional again with a few things. I'm gonna do some now. Um, Better now. Cool. Thanks. Number one, these freaking tools right here, man. You don't have to have a yoga block, but if you do, it's good to have. And also just like a belt, a sturdy belt. Okay. So number one, I did this in bed because I couldn't get on the floor. You know, I could barely bend over at all this morning. But I climbed my freaking bed, put this little fucker between my knees, and just squeezed the hell out of it. You know what I mean? Oh. 5 to 10 seconds, ramp them up to a pretty heavy intensity. And I literally heard my hips crack when I. And number two is the opposite, man. Just pulling the legs apart isometrically against the freaking belt. Now, last time I did this live, I broke my belt. Hopefully it doesn't happen this time. Pretty decent. And there's one more, which is still in the laying position. Of course, you can do the standing if you feel better, but laying is obviously better if you're in a ton of pain like I was. I was freaking I don't know, 7 or 8 out of 10 this morning with pain. It was fucking awful, but it's just, if you're laying down for so long and you sleep for fucking 8 hours or something, you're obviously going to be in a lot of pain because you're just immobile for so long. The next one is just pushing my knee into my hand. Okay, so I'm pulling and pushing. Like so. I'll put one leg straight, one up here as far as I can go, and I'm going to push it like that. Other side, same thing. And pretty much after those 3 exercises, I felt good enough. My core and hips were activated enough to walk around. Okay. So after that, walked around, started my morning, and then I got into this exercise. Okay, this one's some freaking, I believe his name is John McGill. I think that's right. Essentially, it's going to be an assisted hip hinge. Sliding the hands down the legs. Just like this. I'm going to do 20 reps. simple and very effective. Okay, so if you're having trouble, like I was this morning, bending over because you're in so much pain, that's going to help you mobilize a little bit. Yeah, like a rack pull, pretty much, man. I think he calls them hockey squats or some kind of shit like that. No, what's it called? Catcher squats. Something like that. Now the next one's a good one too. I have one of these ball slides, but you don't even need anything like this, to be honest. You can even use like a sheet of paper or like a shirt on a hardwood floor. Whatever you can, get, they'll slide across the surface. Okay, I'm gonna use this though. Back up a little bit to show you. I'm essentially gonna be in like a plank, but with 8 points of contact. Okay. Toes, knees. Well, I guess 6 points of contact. Not bad. I can't count. Hands, knees, and toes. Okay, I'm gonna put this under one of my feet. I'm gonna make sure I have my freaking scapula retracted. Okay. Here and here. Okay. So retraction and protraction. I'm gonna act like I'm trying to lift my head up. Okay, as if I was pushing against like a wall or something. So I'm not gonna do it like this. I'm gonna be like this and really try to engage the neck and lengthen my spine by pulling my neck forward, using my muscles. And you'll feel it in like the deep flexors of your neck too and your extensors and stuff. I'm just gonna move one leg at a time as I do that. Okay, show from this angle. On that last rep, I'll do like 10 to 20. I'll actually lift my leg up while keeping everything nice and firm and engaged. And then I'll do the other side the same way. Okay, so it's like an assisted bird dog. Some people call it a bird dog. It's a little bit of the overcoming isometric at the end. Now this morning, I was so weak and in pain I couldn't even lift my leg. And if you're in a lot of pain, you probably can't either. But the point is, you're trying and you're engaging all these like muscles in your back, in the front of your core. Oh, let me see. That's probably a better angle. So it feels a lot better for me right now. I can actually lift my freaking leg behind me. Make sure you keep that back long and flat the entire time. You're gonna feel that in the extensors, in the front of the body, all your abdominals, your transverse abdominals, all that good stuff. Hitting out. All right, man. Peace out, Sheik. Now, after that, I felt pretty good. I was able to walk around, kind of go about my day. And then, I was kind of just doing stuff around the house. I was picking up around the house and stuff. Like my dogs had like torn up some toys. There were just a bunch of, pieces of freaking dog toy everywhere. So that was a good opportunity to try out some squats, okay? And the way I did them was like the same as those gill squats I showed earlier. They were kind of like a bodyweight rack pull, as Shaky put it. So let's say I was picking up something. I would do it like this. Okay? Just like that. Kind of slide down my freaking legs. Okay, and once I felt better, I was able to actually not even have to use my arms as assistance. So maybe just one arm. Maybe just one arm of assistance. And eventually I was able to be normal. Okay? That's pretty much it for the morning. Getting out of pain, mobilizing, doesn't take too much. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some core exercises, kind of feel around, see how I feel. I'm gonna start off with a couple of side planks. Might do some pull-off press too. I find that working the side of the body is really good for rehab when I have all these kind of like back issues that are sciatica related, because typically it means one side is tighter than the other. So if I can kind of balance that out, I'm not going to feel as crappy. Okay? Ugh. So I'm going to just play around with it real quick and I'll film as I do it. All right, felt pretty good. At least I can freaking do that. Messing around with some pull-up press now. Probably my favorite exercise, especially on the transverse plane. I have to move my camera a little bit. Let me see. Something like that might be good. So I've got my resistance band and an anchor to hold it. I'm going to step away from the anchor so there's tension on the band. and start my exercises. I think, yeah, that'll be a good angle. Cool. So that's pretty much level 1, just standing with knees and hips bent slightly, legs maybe a little bit further and hip width apart. Pressing it out, you're going to feel the tension on the abdominal muscles and the side of the hips. I'll hold it for 3 seconds, give or take. Come back, do that 10 times. In the 10th rep, hold it for 10 seconds. And then relax, then do the other side shortly after that. All right, pretty good. Man, it's hot as hell out here. It's literally like 99 degrees. Fahrenheit, of course, in the US. Oh, shit. I'm going to show another pull-up press here in a minute. This is going to be overhead, leaning laterally. I'm going light because, I literally just hurt myself yesterday. So probably tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll use a heavier band and re-strengthen from there. But feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. So that was a pretty good stretch for the quadratus lumborum. It's a muscle like right here. You want to go kind of slow on it, pulling it all the way up, leaning, come back slow. Just doing 10 reps for now. I'm going to do this side too. All right, felt pretty decent. Now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to return to the side plank. But this time, instead of keeping it totally flat and static, I'm going to flex from like right here and get into the obliques a little more. Holy crap, it's hot. It's good though. Heat's good. Heat's good when you're injured, that's for sure. Get the blood flowing. Move real quick. Alright, that felt pretty good. Freaking plank on by. So on that one, again, 10 reps. I'll go from a flat position, and then I'll flex a little bit, hold it for a few seconds, come back down. Few seconds, come back down. And on the last rep, hold a little bit longer and come back down. And this side was feeling a little better, or feeling like it was doing more for me working that side, so try to focus a little bit more on the last isometric of that side. Again, just that's the kind of motion you want. And also you're gonna be digging in with the palms and the feet, okay? Working the shoulders and the hips a little bit as well, but mostly those obliques, okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and set up a timer for a Tabata, which is 8 rounds of 20 seconds with 10 seconds rest. I don't know if I'll get through all of it right now, but I might. We'll see. If it feels rough, I might skip around, but we'll see how it feels. It's gonna be 8-point planks, okay, which means it's gonna be on my hands, elbows, knees, and toes. I'm gonna try to lift up using only my abdominal muscles, okay? Try to keep the legs out of the equation. I will be protracting my scapula, but I'm not gonna try to use those muscles as much as I am those deep abdominal muscles. Okay, this is gonna help freaking strengthen everything here and stretch out my tight back. So I'm gonna get this timer set up. I might get away for about 10 seconds, and we'll be right back. I'm starting about 20 seconds here. Hopefully my volume's on so I can hear the freaking timer. There it is. Easy as that. I almost lifted up my knees, but we're gonna keep it easy. Easy on the ground. Oh, it's already getting pretty hard. Oh. I'm gonna skip this next round. Can already feel some cramps happening. It's pretty normal. It's only day one, you know what I mean? Day one recovery. Don't have to go too hard. It's all about quality. Quality over quantity. All right, next round. Go. We're gonna skip next round too. We'll go in 2 sets at a time, I guess. It's a hard position to get in if you got back problems. If you don't believe me, try it out. Okay, pretty good. 5 out of 8. So why is that so difficult? Essentially, you're taking a lot of stuff out of the equation. It's all about muscle control. You gotta use those deep abdominal muscles to raise yourself off the ground. And as you're doing that, with your knees, you're gonna be squeezing the ground together, okay? Same thing with the elbows, squeezing together, okay? Like locking yourself in place. They're not really pushing you so much. They're just kind of locking you into your center line as you kind of scrunch yourself up. Okay, the whole time I'm trying to lengthen the spine with the neck. Okay, so I'm not just hanging out, like this. I'm trying to lengthen with the neck, okay, to get rid of some of that spinal compression. And you're gonna feel that crazy hard if you do it right. It's essentially an overcoming isometric, and holding an overcoming isometric for 20 seconds is quite a feat, okay? You can find this on YouTube. Look up 8-point plank Tabatas. It's part of the foundation training channel. Very difficult, especially if you're struggling with back problems, but really important to work in those deep abdominal muscles and stretching the back out. Okay, it's quite painful and uncomfortable at first. Well, I would say more uncomfortable than painful. It should be really like painful, that it should feel pretty good afterward, but it's very uncomfortable to do. Now, from here, I'm just gonna do one more thing to stretch a little bit in the hips, and that'll be some more of those John Gill kind of squats. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper and then try to hold at the bottom without support to stretch a bit. Maybe 20 of those, and I'll call it there. Get back to doing housework and chilling and stuff. Ah. Sweet. Feels pretty good to move, man. From barely getting